Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
Stop the carnage on our roads. Check your brake system to ensure it's in good condition. The Standards Organization of Nigeria urges Nigerians. Plus, special focus on standards. We will tell you all you need to know about standard and why you must insist on quality. Stay tuned.
My people, SON no be pikin. SON na Standards Organization of Nigeria. You be importer, I be exporter. You don't register the market where you dey sell for son. Standards Organization of Nigeria they call you now to come register wetin you dey sell for Naija. This na to make everything wey dey Naija market get standard. If you never register, na im be say if dem bab you, you go pay all the gbese and na your pocket go hear am. Sharparly, go register the market or product where you dey sell for any SON wey near you. For Standard Organization Office, you go get correct information wey go help you know how you go take register. For more tori, visit SON website wey be www.son.gov.ng. Standards Organization of Nigeria, una dey improve life through standard.
Arrangements are being concluded by the Standards Organization of Nigeria to provide basic knowledge and standards for artisans to enhance their services. This was disclosed at a stakeholders forum held in Lagos. Here are details of that meeting. Please take a look.
These are artisans, owners of small businesses who have become self-reliant in contributing their quota to national development. They are mechanics, plumbers, and rewires who provide essential services and have become relevant to our national lives. This meeting, therefore, at the instance of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, was to explore ways of enhancing their services in line with modern trends. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, who was represented at the event, pledged to support artisans and ensure they do their businesses in line with acceptable standards.
It's about services, so we are trying to help them to be recognized by the use of standards through in offering their services, actually going to help them to offer quality service. So the areas are electricians, plumbers, carpentry work, masonry work, and all those other activities. So there are about 5 of them. We've actually developed the draft standards, and we have had meetings. We started engaging them already. So we're at the stage of them making comments on the drafts that have been developed. So after that, we'll move it on from there to get the standards for them. We also, apart from the standards development, we also would train them on how to go about implementing the standards that will enable them to offer quality services.
The objective is to promote standardization among artisans to boost their activities and discourage mediocrity in the overall interest of all in the country.
It's actually to facilitate the use of their own services. You will agree with me, in this country, we have people who come from outside our country, the neighboring countries. They are known for specific areas, and when they come, we try to use them, up to the extent of taking them even down to our villages to offer such services. While our people are here, they are not recognized. So we believe that by the use of this standard, when the standards are developed and they start using them, implementing them, they'll be able to offer quality services that will attract people. So what we want to do is bring them up, get them to be recognized, and give them access to business. We have a MANCAP, that is Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, which we implement through our state offices across the country. So it's through the state offices, we'll be able to monitor their activities, and through the association, because we encourage them to come in groups. So we'll be able to also monitor. It gives us easier access to them to monitor the activities. So we'll monitor through our MANCAP program.
The artisans promised to take advantage of the opportunity to reposition their businesses.
Welcome back. You're watching Standard and You on Africa's largest television network, the NTA. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo. Standard has been defined as the level of quality of a product or services. It's what every consumer wants to achieve whenever he or she purchases a product or services. Countries all over the world strive to determine or set minimum standards for products which manufacturers must meet. Standard bodies or organizations are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring compliance with specified standards and promotion of standardization. Since 1971, the Standards Organization of Nigeria is the country's regulatory agency saddled with that task in Nigeria. No doubt, officials of the agency have left no one in doubt of their capacity and commitment to elaborate standards for products and promote quality in Nigeria. How well has the SON fared in this regard, and what are the standards we have for different products? I have with me in the studio Head of Standards SON, Mrs. Chinyere Egwonwu, to provide insights into the SON's capacity to elaborate standards for products. You're welcome to the studio, ma.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me in this program.
First and foremost, what is standard?
Standard, in simple terms, is a technical document containing requirements or specifications that a product must meet in order to meet the customer's expectations. Standards are technical documents that are developed by an organization, an approved organization like SON, and they are developed by consensus of all the relevant stakeholders. And in Nigeria, where our standards are called, the national standards are called the Nigerian Industrial Standard.
How do you achieve standards?
Standards are achieved or developed in various ways. Specifically, one is that there are different stages involved in the development of a standard.
Okay.
Yes, we have, when you're developing a fresh standard, it goes through a certain stage, which I'm going to explain later. And then when we have international equivalents of the standards and they meet our specific, what our requirements, our environmental conditions and culture, then we can adopt those standards. And in doing that, we, as an organization of a standard body, we are the ones that coordinate the activities of the standards elaboration, and then we have the relevant stakeholders involved in the elaboration of standards. For instance, for a particular product, if you are developing a standard, we must have all the relevant stakeholders, like the manufacturers of that product, the exporters of those products, the importers of those products, even the academia, the professors. We have the laboratories, because tests also have to be carried out to make sure that those products meet the specified requirements in the standard. We have even NGOs and Consumer Protection Council and Consumer Protection Associations. So we have all those people, all the relevant stakeholders are involved in the elaboration of the standard. And so when these drafts are developed, they are circulated around to all the relevant stakeholders for them to look at it and make comments. When these comments come back, we collate those comments, and then we finally have where the consensus decisions are taken, and that is at the roundtable meeting, which we call the technical committee meetings. And it's important for you to know that we have standing national technical committees for various products. So when we, for instance, if we have for let's say for cassava and cassava products, we have a standing national committee for that particular product, and the members of those committees, of this committee, are members of every stakeholders that is involved, starting from the farmers to even the inputs, when you mean agricultural inputs, the chemicals, those who make the chemicals, those who import the chemicals, and also the farmers themselves, the transporters who even move those things out from the farm, because they also need to know that there are specific standards for that activity that they carry out. Even the transporters, where these things are stored, those who store them, those who sell those things, and then the labs who carry out the tests, the NGOs, like I told you, the consumer association groups, everyone that has to do it is involved, and they all must come together to agree at that national committee meeting. And once they agree on that particular product standard, then we take it further from there. We take it to the National Council, that's the Standard Council, because a standard can never be used as a national standard if it is not approved by that our governing body, the Standard Organization Council. So it must be approved by that governing body. Once it's approved, then it becomes a national standard. It goes to publication and is available for use by everybody who is in that particular area.
Interesting. What is the relevance of setting minimum standard for a product?
To ensure that every person or every manufacturer or service provider in that specific products or service provisions must meet the national standard. Minimum specifications are done in such a way that it allows everybody to have a level playing ground where you can also come in and set up your specifications based on that national minimum standard. For instance, let me explain. If, for instance, the breweries will say maybe for a particular percentage of alcohol, if the national standard says 7%, the breweries, depending on what product it is, then the breweries may decide to, because that's the minimum standard that must be met by any manufacturer in that particular area. And so those companies will now set their own company specification based on the national minimum requirements, and that is it. And they must also meet the national minimum requirements. So it allows people, it provides a kind of level playing ground for everybody to work with.
There must be challenges.
Yeah.
What are the challenges?
Well, for now, the challenges are, one, getting people to voluntarily come and get involved in the standards elaboration process. Some people feel that you must pay them to do the work, but those who know will look for it. So those are the challenges. Another challenge is the challenge of, getting the right responses, because like I told you, there are stages of standards development. So when we circulate these things out to all the relevant stakeholders, we expect some response from them within a specified limit, because you don't develop a particular standard forever. There are stages and they have timelines, and the timelines must be met. We also obey the principles and procedures of standards elaboration. There are principles that guide our standards elaboration process, and so we must obey it. And one of those things is a timeline. Within a specified timeline, you must carry out a particular stage and move to the next stage. So most times we don't get responses as within that period that we need those responses from the people. So that's another one of the challenges that we have.
We need to know who benefits from standards.
The users of the standards benefit from the standards, because when you use standards, you get it right the first time. And once you get it right the first time, you don't spend time wasting your materials. The users of the standards also gain in the area of facilitating the sales of their products, because once you use standards, you get it right, and then you can sell your product, because there's this kind of assurance that those who are going to use the standard will have to say, yes, this product meets standards, meets the standard, the specified requirements for it, and then they will be able to sell their products better than those who do not meet the standard.
Interesting. So how many standards do we have?
For now, we have standards for various products and services. And maybe when I mean services in the area of hospitalities, in the barbing salon, in even the swimming pool activities. Wow. We have standards for such activities. For now, the organization is actually focused on SMEs to get them to use standards. So we want to get to them. And so getting to them, being able to assess them, those who need these things. But we're trying as much as possible to make sure that we get to them. And then another challenge is, maybe because we need to, we have offices all over the country, but the thing is that we need to also get to all those aspects, all those parts of the country, the state's offices. And so we also need money to do that. We have experts, like in the standards organization, we have experts in the various fields who are ready to do that. So we are trying as much as we can, but as much as fund allows us to do. But I assure you that the DG is doing a lot, particularly for the SMEs, concerning implementations of this standard.
Any word for our consumers out there?
Well, I must say that it pays to meet standards. It pays. There's a lot of benefits in meeting standards. So I will encourage our manufacturers, our service providers to ensure that they get the specified requirements for their activities, and they should make sure that they meet those specifications or those requirements, because at the end of the day, they will surely gain from it, because when you use standards, do it right the first time, you will not make mistakes, you will have less wastages, you will not have less waste of time, because you do it right the first time. The materials are not wasted in wastages, your time is not wasted in trying to do it all over and over again. So standard benefits you, and doing it right the first time using standard will also pay you.
It pays to use standards. Thank you so much, ma, for joining us. It's been a sweet ride with you. You just heard from a standard expert. Now you know the importance of standardization. Ensure you comply. Standard and new continues. The program is still Standard and New. Thanks for staying with us. Moving on, this part of a vehicle is strategic and very important. The failure of this auto part could lead to an accident. Fasten your seatbelt and we will tell you all you need to know about this life danger product.
Imagine you were driving your car on top speed and then suddenly applied your brake to stop the car and it failed. What will you do? Will you jump out of the car? Of course not. The fear of what may likely happen grips you and then confusion sets in. However, the consequence of brake failure is best imagined. This explains the importance of brake pad and why its maintenance must be taken seriously. It is important to understand what a brake pad is. Brake pads are a component of our disc brakes. They are steel backing plates with friction to slow or stop a car. The pressure and friction applied to the brake rotor is what slows or stops the wheel.
Brake pads are those components of the car that help the car either to slow down or to come to a stop. If there is nothing in the vehicle that is to stop the vehicle, maybe because there is danger, or the person has reached where he's going, or to even slow down the vehicle as he is moving, then that vehicle cannot perform the needed function because it is out to destroy. Because if you are supposed to, if somebody crosses and you match your brake, you apply match the pedal of your car, the brake pedal of your car or your truck or your motorcycle, and nothing happens, it means that you can have any accident.
There are a wide variety of brake parts in the market, made from a combination of materials. The brake parts are made from three major materials. They are semi-metallic, organic, and ceramic. The most common is the semi-metallic, which are composed of metal shavings held together with resin. This all-important product does not last forever. Experts say there are two main methods of determining when to replace the brake pad. Most pads have a piece of soft metal embedded in the pad. Once they have worn out, this piece of metal will begin to rub against the brake rotor when the brake is applied.
Brake pads, you should be able to monitor the movement of your car so that you know this brake pad I changed last 3 months because of the number of times I've used the vehicle. Is now, don't wait until you start seeing the friction between metal and metal. While you apply your brake, you start here, that shows exactly that it's overdue for replacement of the brake pads, because the components are not, that the rubbing pads are not metal. So in that case, if you begin to see it, it means that your brake pad has gone down so much that that vehicle is at a risk. And so you won't wait until you get to that very risky level before you change the brake pads of your vehicle, because it is a very important component of your vehicle. And if you are not happy with what somebody has done, please get back and confirm that it was the right component that was used, because the brake of a vehicle determines a lot of things in your movement.
The most common symptoms of failing brake include pulsating pedal and poor brake response. These are warning signs which every driver must never ignore.
Brake pad is a very, very important component of the vehicle, and people should look out for the right brake pad they are to use, because for every brake pad it has a number of components that will make it function very well. And so if you don't buy the right one, that brake pad is not going to deliver for you, because there are products that you as an ordinary person cannot just go and pick and say it is okay. You must be guided by the right skilled technician, because I know that you don't just say give me brake pad. If they know that you don't know, they give you anything. So you must use the right skilled technician to do your servicing, where you will need to change your brake pads in addition to other components of the car that you need to replace at regular intervals. So you must know that that person you are telling to service your vehicle is a trustworthy technician.
If you travel often, you might change your brake pad within 3 months. If you travel once in a while, if you don't drive your car, you might not change your brake pad for the next 1 year.
The brake must be properly maintained to avoid accidents on our roads, which in most cases result in avoidable loss of lives.
For every product that comes into this country under the regulation of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, we have provided the Standards Organization of Nigeria Conformity Assessment Program, which is an offshore conformity assessment scheme, where products that are supposed to come into this country are tested by our overseas appointed agents. They are accredited firms that have been tested. They have the capability to test these products and give you a certificate that this product will deliver when you are using it in service. So if you pass through this process, the product that is going to come out will be a wholesome product. But those who want to circumvent the process are those who want to bring in anything in the name of brake pads. And when they bring in these products, they are not going to last, because by the time you even fit it into the vehicle, you will see it will be making noise. You see, when you apply the brake, nothing is happening. And that is because this product, the components that were used in making the pad are not the right components.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria urges you to ensure regular check of your brake pads to stay alive.
Hello, it's good to have you on the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Great news! You can now watch our program on YouTube. So please search for Standard and You on YouTube, view, like, and share our videos. Thank you. Our first message here is from Beatrice from Jigawa. It says, is there any possibility of regulating the energy consumption of the old products we have at home? No. The energy guide label is only for new products imported into the country, so owners of old appliances are advised to replace them with more energy efficient ones. Okay? Ndubisi from Owerri says, how much does it cost to register locally made goods? For information on product registration, please visit our website on www.sun.gov.ng. Patrick from Calabar says, what are the measures put in place by SON to certify products? We have different product certification schemes, such as the MANCAP, which is the Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program. We also have the SUNCAP, the Standards Organization of Nigeria Conformity Assessment Program, and the NIS mark, the Nigerian Industrial Standards Mark of Quality. You can also visit our website for more information on them. Onu Marcus says, where is your office in Abuja? Our office in Abuja is at number 14 Kitwe Street beside Waterboard Zone 4, Wuse, Abuja. Joseph from Plateau says, I want to congratulate the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Please keep it up. Thank you, Joseph. Egba Ikom says, where is your office in Cross River State? Okay, our office in Cross River State is at number 10 Bishop Moinag Avenue, State Housing Estate, Calabar. Esong Abie from River State, I thank God for using the Standards Organization of Nigeria to save lives. Yes, thank God and thank you too. That's too much we can take on the feedback segment of the program. Remember, if you have any information for us to enforce standards, please call or send us a message on the number 0705-972-4455. Follow us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. You can also send a mail to the address thestandardandyou@gmail.com. And don't forget, like, watch, and share our YouTube videos. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.